Gara. It's Gara. It has to be Gara. It's 100% Gara. Like, you cannot tell me that it's not Gara when you go to the usage stats of 2025 and you see this Warframe in 0.76% of usage rate. And she has one of the greatest nuke potentials in the entire game. It has to be her. And she's been under the radar for quite a while. She's been under the radar pretty much forever. But thankfully, with the old peace update, she actually got buffs. And she got indirect buffs that people didn't really catch on because people really didn't try. And I saw it at some point and I went ahead and farmed a second Gara just to try this. Because the normal Gara that I uses purple shards and she does the funny melee Wrathful Advance build with the 5 purple shards, which, don't get me wrong, that's fine, but it's not as good as this one. So what is this all about? Well, this is about one-shotting with her wall, because her wall doesn't have LOS checks. And because it doesn't have LOS checks, you can nuke a tile set. Like an entire tile set can just go boop, and it just disappears, you know? You see minimap, you see Doritos on the minimap, and then you press 4, you press 1, and there is no more Doritos on the minimap. The Doritos are gone. And yeah, this is what this build will be all about. There is a solo build right here where you can take on your Void Cascade or your Survival or whatever you want to do. And there is a team-oriented build here that you can do on defense missions, interception missions, and yada yada yada. You will notice on both of these builds we have a ridiculous amount of strength, and what we did for this build is that we replaced Ogre Ridge with Overextended. Very simple difference. The important thing to note here is that this build has extremely low duration on the abilities, meaning that if you actually cannot upkeep your energy or your timers, because I know it will be hard with this much duration and I've tried it, this is like by far the most effective build for one-shotting, but upkeeping 2, 3, 4, everything is gonna be a pain in the ass. So if you actually cannot do this, if you have troubles doing this, then do swap Molt Augmented for Arcane Concentration. And this is going to help you a lot with upkeeping the ability duration of certain abilities, and this issue is going to go away completely. But with Molt Augmented, your second ability can stack for a whopping 860,000 damage when you have everything maxed out, and this is because you need to mod your weapon for pure melee damage. So how you're gonna do this is, first of all, you're gonna go for the arcing damage, so you will actually use Buzzkill, because Buzzkill is one of the greatest modifiers since this is pure slash, and that makes it, you know, 100% more base damage instead of 100% of the slash damage, because the whole slash damage is base damage, then you get like the entire amount, and this pushes your second ability even further. Then melee retaliation comes into play, and with these red shards, then arcane expertise, and anything you can get from your ogre modes on this and the secondary weapon, you can actually reach the needed potential for arcane expertise, for melee retaliation to get to 420% melee damage. And this, as long as you're above 300% melee damage, it outdamages exposure completely. This is a very simple build, and the gameplay loop is very simple. You may find it boring. I'll give you some tips in terms of how you can make this and maximize this even further, depending on tileset. But just know that the serialized build is the same all the time, but for solo play you would use this, and for team play you would use this, and this will still one-shot completely. And as long as you have Roar, then it will be even better. Last but not least, be sure I have a specific config for Gara or loadout slot, because I need primary and secondary dexterity on both my primary and secondary weapons, and I also need it on my Argan. And because I need it on my Argan and all that, that provides us with a total of 35 seconds of combo duration. 35 seconds of combo duration is quite nuts. It is so nuts, in fact, that you get some ridiculous numbers with this, and you can upkeep the first ability combo between waves very easily. And this is also why I said on this build, you know, you can easily go Arcane Concentration, because the second ability duration will start matching that combo duration of your first ability, and you'll be able to upkeep them through waves very comfortably. So be sure to do that. Now let's go to a mission for gameplay. Also be sure, because you're using Equilibrium, to use Synth Deconstruct on your pet regardless of what pet you use. I like using Panzer Vulpaphala because it works on the targets that are targeted by viral quills, so really good. The very important part about playing Gara is knowing how to stack and knowing how to place your fourth ability. So we're gonna waste the energy pad here after we nourish, so we can get our energy up very quickly. So nourish, energy pad, and now first we will need to tap 1 and keep tapping 1. Even if you tap 1 on dead bodies like this, you see how it still stacks? even if we tap first ability on a dead body, that will still stack. So it's really good. As you can see, once we reach 12x, we can just jump up in the air and cover the height that we need our wall to leave. So we need to match this height right here. Hold it until it reaches the bottom, and then hold one, and you get the nuke. And this way you can nuke pretty much anywhere and everywhere. So like that, and just keep moving, keep nourish up, keep moving, and you can just keep doing that. And because your second ability is stacking like crazy with this build, you can just at some point like run next to enemies, and that will give you energy back. Like if you ever find yourself running out of energy, literally have nourish up, walk next to an enemy, and boom, now you have energy again. It's just that simple. On Gara, it's all about the timing and the placement on your fourth ability, and also knowing the trick on stacking your first ability quickly is by basically killing someone and shooting their dead body over and over by pressing one on them over and over and over again. And obviously this is a build that even if you lose your 2 like I did, it doesn't matter too much, because one press of your 2 will instantly like stack it very quickly. So you can max out melee retaliation with this also, because once you press 4, you can see how melee retaliation goes from 315 to 360% right here. This is because of precision intensify and its interaction with arcane expertise. Basically, when you use your fourth ability, or when you hover your fourth ability on your abilities list, the melee retaliation buff actually works and it increases your maximum shield. So because it increases your maximum shield, you actually get a better melee retaliation number like this. So your first ability can deal even more damage like that. Not that it does bad damage right now, it does some crazy damage right now, but you know, there's just even more. Very quickly, you can see that second ability going to almost 8 million damage like that. And the actual fourth ability nukes as long as it's placed correctly. Like the placement is really important. The amount of damage is so ridiculous that at any point, if an Acolyte spawns, it's just gonna die. It's literally just gonna die. This is a very overpowered Warframe in general. Everybody kind of knows she's super powerful, but nobody really wants to play her because they have the caveats of the second ability running out. They have the caveats of the first ability being harder to stack. But knowing the issues and knowing how to bypass them is one thing that you can really benefit a lot from learning to play the character. And by playing Gara a bit, the reason why I even thought about this build was due to an invigoration, but the invigoration has now passed. The invigoration used to be just melee damage, and with that melee damage invigoration, I was able, with a maxed out melee retaliation setup, to get to, I think, around 1.1 million damage on my second ability every time I hit it. But even that, like, it's not needed whatsoever. Like right now, I'm working with a 360% melee retaliation, which isn't as much damage on my second ability as I need to. But as you can see, it really doesn't matter. This is just so much damage. So as long as you find the correct room, the correct style sets, this is just gonna completely one-shot everybody. So the question now would be, does it fall off? Well, recently I was playing with the YouTuber named Thacker. If you guys know him, he does a lot of shorts. I was on his stream, and he asked for people to join his temporal Archimedia, and I saw I had Gara on my temporal Archimedia. So after he asked on his chat, you know, what do you think is the most underrated frame, and I confidently answered Gara, he kind of doubted me, and I wanted to put the doubts to rest. So I picked Gara. I went on his temporal Archimedia, and I swear to you, he can attest this. He actually had troubles finding enemies on the missions that weren't the assassination mission, the tank itself. Like, aside from the tank mission, where we basically equal damage, me and him, he was playing Rhino. He had a very good setup with, I think, an Incarnon weapon, and he couldn't see enemies because I could one-tap the entire tile set by just doing 4-1, 4-1, 4-1 all the time. Like that, you know, there is Doritos on the minimap, and then there is no Doritos on the minimap. It's just that simple. And as you can see, if I walk to Malice now, that's gonna happen to her. And if the Acolyte spawns in you by accident, you're not even gonna see their health bar. Their health bar is just gone before you even see anything. It's really slow. And this happens against any faction. You don't need a Bane mode, you don't need anything too crazy. You just need the Prime Pressure Point and Prime Fever Strike. I think those are the only Prime modes that you actually need. And you can just do this. It's very silly. And if you have someone to boost your damage further with something like Roar, because obviously this has Nourish, no Roar, so no multiplicative ability damage, it just gets way more crazy. And honestly, I'll just say it, I think this might be like the best carry Warframe when it comes to defense missions and, you know, things that you kind of stay around the tower. Because like I know Hildren, you can just walk to an exterminate mission, I'll fire the ground and just keep moving. Here you just kind of press fourth ability like that, like I showed you, where you match the heights, then hold one and the entire tile set is gone. There is Doritos on the minimap, no Doritos on the minimap. This Warframe is crazy. She is definitely a Warframe that if you see on your EDA or Temporal Archimedia and you're like, should I play her? Yes, absolutely. She is absolutely busted. She is genuinely your Dante, Hildren, like whatever you want to pick for Coral or EDA. This is also one of those picks that will absolutely carry the EDA on its own, and she will have a lot of comfort doing it because she also cannot die. She is just that good. And she has fallen under the radar for a long time. I think people should give her a try. And I think if you haven't tried her, what the hell happened to my credits? I just noticed this. Yo, sorry, this is like out of pocket, but I had 10 million credits like last week. What the hell happened here? If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna close this recording and I'm gonna go to the index. Thank you very much for watching another video of mine, and I will see you on the next one.